What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Y'all come on in here and hit that like button so we can get started. What's going on? Hopefully, you guys had a good day today. You were able to enjoy the rest of your weekend. We had a good time last night. Went live and premiered Kogo's miniseries on malware and this stupid check thing with the Umar Johnson buffoonery saga. So we will be continuing part 4 tonight at 8:30. Meanwhile, Super Stupid showed up for a hearing today. Oh girl. Now, I went over some information last week or when I did do a live on the election, I guess, challenge that they were presenting in Fulton County with her trying to become Fulton County commissioner. And they had already put her on the ballot. It's something I had already said. She was on the ballot. The question was, how much time were they going to consider as part of her permanent residency in order for her to qualify to stay on that ballot? She's running as a Republican in District 5 of Fulton County. Her child. Hold your breath, it gets good. And she's claiming she wants to beautify the area. While she can't say one problem that is going on in District 5 that she plans on addressing with some type of platform or policy or anything. Of course not. Y'all, we got the hearing. And we're going to go over some of this. This is AV to the 7th power. She has the best audio. Okay. So we're going to use her video on this. I guess, after this, most of you may or may not know. Of course, Fulton County has shown their level of incompetency. It's just staggering to me. All because somebody couldn't type out an email properly. They felt, indebted to give her a chance to stay on the ballot because she was already on the ballot. So, seeing that she's the only Republican running in a Democratic majority area, more than likely she's going to lose either way. And I just really hope that the Republicans are not really falling for this clown. She's only running for a Republican because she doesn't want a real challenge as a Democrat. Bottom line, Fulton County Commissioner's position comes with $1 billion budget. She's seeing dollar signs, and Siggy still refuses to get a job. So here we are. Oh, Lord have mercy. So we're going to check this out. Let's get some comments in right quick. How y'all doing? What's going on, CC? Thank you for coming. A member. Y'all, Laura's up in the house. How you doing, Laura? I hope all is well with you, honey. Shout out to my mods. And y'all, Laura is my admin here in StreamYard. So anytime you all can't get my attention, she can. Thank you so much for tuning in, girl. We miss you up in here. Yeah, Super Stupid is the glue that binds all of us together, okay? Hope all is well with you all. Ralph Morris said, what's up? Hello, everyone. Valedictorian is with us. How you doing? Skeeter, Mark, how's it going? How's the family? All right, everybody, speak to everybody. Caleb is up in here. That's Super Stupid man. Yeah, I call Tiffany Henyard super stupid. She makes a lot of super stupid decisions. And still does not really take time to read a book. So, this is where we are. People get offended by that. It's not my fault that she's a moron. That is all on her. She has the power to change it. She chooses not to. Can't make this up. Oh, man. They know I don't give a damn. All right, welcome in. Happy 420. Y'all hit that like button coming in. Say what's going on. Hey, y'all. Hey, Super Smart Queen of YouTube. Oh, honey, how you doing, Caleb? Caleb, you sure know how to make a girl feel good. Oh, man. Oh, thank you so much, honey. Thank you so much. say what's going on, y'all. Shout out to my mods. I have the best mods on YouTube now. They hold me down, and I appreciate it. Y'all, everybody speak to everybody. I hope y'all good. Y'all ready to get started? Because we about to get started up in here. So, like I said, this is the best, I guess, enhanced audio I came across, because otherwise it sounds like a buzz in the background. I was watching a little bit of Nate the Lawyer's live earlier, and I could not make out of what was really being said. And then it cuts off, and it's just like, oh, that's annoying. So once they deliberated and gave their decision to keep her little dumbass on the ballot, because I mean, at the end of the day, she's gonna lose. You running in a Democratic majority area, and the Republicans don't know you, and for what they know, they don't like it. Because I mean, you can just Google Tiffany Henyard. They're not in the mood. They're not in the mood. The whole state of Georgia's not in the mood. They're not in the mood. They see the con game. All they got to do is look back at all the other videos where she was a god awful mayor and supervisor in another state. So we're gonna check this out. Shout out to AV to the 7th power for enhancing the audio on this. And of course, y'all see Siggy standing there with his pants between his ass. I don't know what's going on with him. Why he wearing this Sula shirt? God knows. But y'all, Super wore a black suit like I told her. You didn't go in looking like Pink Flamingo. You wouldn't have had any excuse to miss this, girl. Too many people put up flyers online that you watch telling you the date and time. I'm glad you went in there and you look like you had a little bit of sense. Next time, tell Siggy to put on some church clothes. He too old for that. Got on a hat and everything. That's rude. Siggy, take your damn hat off. The hell is wrong with you? Isn't he like 68 years old? Yeah, let's get started. Hit the phone where you can see it here. Let's go.
That your utilities were paid under your lease?
Yes.
Is that correct? Well, under your lease, it says resident is responsible for payment of all natural gas, electricity, water, sewer, telephone.
We are asking you to provide us with information that by the time that you are sworn in, you will have been a resident.
Hold on. She kind of goes back a little bit.
That being said, let's jump on into it.
Okay, you may proceed, and you will have a total of 10 minutes. You may not need all that time, but to provide your evidence and discuss what you would like for us to know about your candidacy and your residencies, which is what we're here for, not your candidacy, but your residency. Okay.
Why are they being super nice again? I don't understand it. They're being more nice to this heifer than they are to their own residents in Fulton County, that have been here all their life. It's crazy how, they put on this front when they got cameras in front of them. Behind closed doors, they're incompetent and they can't send an email. Make that make sense?
So I do have one question. So you
Yes, ma'am.
guys, meaning the board, are challenging me, saying that I did not meet requirements of a year in Fulton County?
We're not saying that you did not. We are asking you to provide us with information that by the time that you were sworn in.
I know, AV. Super stupid. What the hell did I say? You didn't listen. They were questioning when you signed that lease, if you were still a permanent resident in the state of Illinois, to determine whether or not you were qualified to run as a candidate, because you're the one that was still a mayor and a supervisor at the time you signed that lease saying, I now reside in Georgia. They wanted to verify that information. You gave to them. I thought I made that clear to you, girl. You got to learn how to listen. You watching my videos. I'm going to need you to keep up. Super stupid. Put the closed captions on, okay? So you can see the words coming across the screen. It's the only way you're going to keep up. You're going to have to read. You were already on the ballot. Do you understand? What part did she miss? I asked this, I said, does everybody understand what I was saying in the 3-hour video? She goes there and asks that dumbass question.
You will have been a resident of Fulton County and what your subjective intent was. And we can say, I can say that not just you were challenged by Fulton County residents. We have received a plethora of information, whether it's been, they've been Fulton County residents, outside of Fulton County, media. And so we brought the challenge for you to have a chance to talk about your residency and whether or not you will meet the criteria. Our job is not to
Right.
determine any extraneous issues other than residency.
That's
Okay,
it.
so for the year, I just heard the lawyer say January of the following year,
27.
27 for 1 year.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
I want to start with that. Thank you guys for allowing me to speak.
Okay,
Thank you
opening
for
statements.
finally inviting me to the hearing. So I do appreciate that. And I just want to say this. I am a resident of Fulton County. I have always been a resident of Fulton County since May 1.
Girl, don't say always and then give a date. That shows limitation. Just say I've been a resident as of May, whatever, 2025. Don't say I've always been a resident. No, you haven't. You know, it's the terminology for me that you're using that you don't understand. I told you exactly what they were doing, girl. They were simply challenging that, questioning the residency to determine your eligibility to remain on that ballot. They made it clear to us you were already on it. Good grief. I said, why didn't she just wait to sign the damn lease until after the new mayor had been sworn in Dalton? That way, there's nothing to challenge. But she's not that bright, so whatever. Come on, you thunkhead.
Of 2025. I like the fact that it's to the date of swearing in, which is January of 2027. But I want to say I have a ton of evidence, which I provided with you guys. Let's see.
With you or to?
The first evidence that I gave when I got the email from your department was my lease. My lease saying that I live here in Fulton County. My intent to stay here, and I am a resident. Then I also sent you my renter's insurance. My renter's insurance states that I rent at the location that the news plaster all over the internet, my home, and basically say that I live right there in that cul-de-sac.
All right. What else, Tiff?
Here's my ID. These are other evidence that I wanted to give, which I know you probably had it, but my ID that states that I live here in Fulton County has my address on here.
Okay. Well, it's her ID.
The ID wasn't switched over, super stupid, until this year. You understand? So that would be irrelevant. That would be irrelevant. Why didn't you switch your ID over last year after 30 days of moving down and signing that damn lease? And was the lease agreement even signed? I mean, seriously, how is it being enforced if it's not signed? I have questions about that. You understand? You got to switch your ID, driver's license, whatever over. If you're talking about permanent residency, you can't make this stuff up. She wants to run for an elected position. Now, mind you all, keep this in mind to all the hentards out there that are still clucking and slow. This is for her to run as an elected official. So residency does matter. So her getting her ID and getting her affairs in order should have been her priority within the first 30 days if she knew she was going to do this. This wasn't something she just woke up. Just said, I'm going to run to be Fulton County Commissioner. No, that heifer came down here knowing that she was going to run for something, because she's a career politician. She doesn't want to get a job doing anything else. She just wants to be an elected official for the rest of her life. Career politician. Running for elected positions is all she wants to do. And nothing more. Like running that business is second rate. It's like a backup because, they're not making any money. So it's, this is what she's going to do from now until Kingdom Come. So you would think you would know how to get your affairs in order and not present unnecessary challenges, right? She knew that when she came and brought her ass down here to Georgia that she was going to be doing it. Get your affairs in order. And tell Kamal to stop dressing like a 15-year-old.
Is it a driver's license is the question.
My next one is my voter registration card.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
Lord
this
have
one.
mercy.
All right.
My ID, voter registration card. The next one is my lease, which I gave you guys. So I have that again
Charity.
as well.
Lease and renter's
Ah,
insurance.
And I gave that right away. Right when y'all sent the email, I sent it literally the next day. I just wanted to show you guys that I live here. The next one is my renter's
I lived
insurance.
here.
Everything's dated May 1 of 2025.
That's the date she moved in. Okay. That's when her tenancy began.
Also, I have a business here. I bought the New Wave information. That's my clothing store, 5495 Old National Highway. My business is here in Fulton County as well. On Old National.
She talks more hood than we do country. 5495 Old National Highway. New Wave. Y'all ain't heard that shit. Scooby-Doo and the crew. Yeah, we up in there. We got skateboards. Y'all ain't never been on no skateboard. Y'all gotta get y'all skateboard and ribs. Hot greens. I used to sell burgers with secret sauce in it. Y'all ain't know that? That was his accent.
So she bought a store.
And that's the plugger, about receipts,
The plugger.
everything that you need
Oh, God.
to know about Tiffany Henyard to say that I live here in Fulton County. I just wanted to make sure that you had more evidence to justify that I live here. And then I wanted to make sure that we follow the law to the exact. The requirement
shit.
for
She trying to
is
follow
you must be a
law.
resident of the county for at least 12 months before election or appointment, which boy you just stated before January 1 or January.
Stop. Don't do that. That attorney went to law school. Name is counselor or attorney so-and-so. Don't call her by her first name. You two are not equals. Do you understand? Don't do that. Even if it's your stupid ass attorneys you've had. I mean, you know. Good grief. You don't know that woman. You gonna call her by her first name? Even what counselor has alluded to, or, attorney so-and-so. I mean, good grief. You act like you've known this woman half your life. You don't know that woman.
5th, whatever the date is of 2027, which
So
that means that I'm way beyond 1 year of residency here in Fulton County because I moved here on May 1 of 2025. Residency means domicile. That means your intent. That I
They
intend
know
to
what
live
that
here.
means.
I have a lease here. My kid goes to school here. Choosing activities here.
I told you, girl, they would not even factor that in. Why you shouldn't even bring up? She's a minor child. Don't even bring her up. They would not factor in where she goes to school. That's irrelevant. She could be going to boarding school in a different state, and you could still be a permanent resident of another state. You see why that doesn't mean anything? I thought I told you this, so you didn't listen.
Also, my business here.
Damn,
So
girl.
I don't know anybody that will make a lease up and not live where they say and go to work every single day, which I know you guys have seen because everybody comes to the business, recording, filming. I live here in Fulton County.
Oh, child,
Also,
please.
Must be a qualified voter.
I don't go there.
Must be a citizen of Georgia. And must be 21 of age and must pay the qualifying fee. I've done all of the above. I've crossed my T's out of my eyes. Therefore, I qualify to run for the position that I'm seeking. I also have my boyfriend, Kamal Woods here.
Oh my God, my guy, my boyfriend. Lord, my boyfriend here too. Y'all ain't know that? Siggy, come over here, Siggy. Siggy, well, come here. Come here, Siggy. Come here. Put your shoes on. Wearing flip-flops. I'm doing it. I'm trying to get this money. What the hell you doing? He must have went outside for a smoke break. Hold on. Y'all, shout out to Laura. Shout out to Laura for the $2 super. Happy 420. Y'all, it is April 20th. Happy 420. Is it the first day of spring? Are we here? Y'all. Oh my God, y'all. Who might y'all say y'all I'm about woman in power? Y'all should be ashamed. Child. Super stupid is still ignorant. Carter Row. Oh my God, y'all. Sing it. Put your shoe on. Come down here. You gotta tell them something. Sonya, what's going on? Skeeter, look, we all look for the FBI. Please hurry up. She need to be hooked on phonics. Thank you so much for the $2 super, y'all. Let's get back to it. Thank you, Laura.
That we live here.
Not the man. Not the
I just wanted
man.
to give you more information to the why and that we live here. And like choice. That's really what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Illinois.
So
Yeah, stop. people will always oppose you running for anything. Do you understand? You're not gonna ever kill the noise. You can't. Don't come down here with that bullshit, acting as if people don't have First Amendment rights to oppose you. There have several seats before you think you just gonna kill the noise with this. That's not how the hell free speech works, heifer. We're not in the mood. We're not Illinois either. You understand me? Especially when you haven't even talked to the governor or the mayor. Child, y'all, can you imagine that conversation? I dare you go have a conversation with Fannie Willis. Yeah, go tell her I'm running as a Republican. You suck ass as a Democrat. Y'all dictators. And we gonna reach across the aisle. I just want to see that in the camp. Like, live stream that super stupid. Go talk to Fannie Willis. Tell her that she's a dictator as a Democrat. And then tell her, I expect you to reach across the aisle to me as a Republican. Then capture her facial expression and make sure you get her response. I want all of that in the live stream. I want to see that conversation go down.
Call him up there, or how you want me to?
Well, I can say, do you mind if we look at, well, I'm presuming you don't mind, you brought it here today. Can we get a copy of your registration for your business to see as a board? Because I don't know that we have that in our packet. Your state ID or driver's license, whichever it is, that has, can we see both of those so the board can look at that?
See, that's good that they asked that, because at the end of the day, your business still needs to be registered in the state in which you operate in. Okay. Like sometimes, with business entities, you might be able to operate in two states. A lot of people do it for tax purposes where they're registered in Delaware in their home state. That's something that I do as a business owner as well, where, if I am going to be domiciled and operating out of one main state, that state is where the business should be registered. So that was a good question from the board there.
Do you have any bills, like utility bills, with you?
Yes.
It's included in my rent.
Okay.
What?
In her rent.
Okay, so let's check out that lease. All utilities? What about Georgia Power?
That's not
Some
how
people
that
don't do that. They bundle
Well,
it. Gas, electric, cable, Wi-Fi,
you renting that house
everything.
Do you have from the Secretary of State for registration for business is
Correct.
what I was asking about.
Yes.
I don't have a physical copy, but I do on my phone. I can email it to you or text it to somebody right now.
If
If
you
my
can-
articles.
Yes. If you have it available, Attorney Prosciutto, do you have that available?
You could probably pull it up.
The Secretary of State information. Our attorney may be able to pull it up for you.
I have a 5495 Old National Highway. Date of formation was May 23rd, 2025.
Okay.
May
That's
23rd.
May 23rd, 2025.
Okay. Thank you.
very close to after you moved and when the lease was enacted. All right.
And I just ran the business search on the Georgia Corporations Division, so that can be in the record.
And personally, as I explained to you all, I don't think any of this stuff, as far as the date she signed a lease, a date she signed for her business registration. I don't think that was ever the for me anyway, the biggest problem. It was you signing a lease claiming to be a permanent resident. At the same time, you were still sitting in the position of a mayor and supervisor in a different state. You would have to be a permanent resident in the state of Illinois to be a mayor in a city in the state of Illinois. You cannot be a permanent resident in two states at the same time. That was the problem. So all this stuff here, she waited to this year to get her driver's license converted over to Georgia. And that's something she should have did after 30 days of moving down here. So she already failed to follow the law on that. But I think the biggest challenge was you signed a lease saying you were a permanent resident in Georgia while you were still a sitting mayor in Illinois and a supervisor and still getting a paycheck. So what the hell is up with that? That was the issue. And were they going to count that time frame as time that will be factored into her permanent residency? That was practically what it came down to. So her showing everything that happened after she signed the lease, to me, I would have been like, look, I need to know, when did you get your last paycheck from Dalton and Thornton Township? Because you were still a mayor and supervisor up there. while you claiming to be a permanent resident down here. You can't be both. That's what they should have did. They should have read the law up there on the requirement for residency to be a mayor in a township of Thornton. And then they should have read the law in Georgia as to what would be factored as permanent residents to run for an elected position here, and saw that there was some cross-contamination. You cannot be a permanent resident of two states at the same time when it comes to an elected position. It's not how that works. We have laws. Here it is. So when you signed the lease, you were still a permanent resident in Dalton because you were still a mayor, which is one of the laws in the state of Illinois, where you're required to be a permanent resident if you're sitting in an elected position, such as the mayor of a city. We're not sitting here just picking on you. No, we're taking the law and we breaking it down. And we got a whole ass attorney that's supposed to be competent enough to help us do just that. It didn't seem like the attorney was... She didn't help much at all, y'all. I'm just going to say it flat out. That's how I feel about it. The attorney was absolutely useless. And the things that she should have known off the top of her head regarding residency requirements for the elected positions, it's like she didn't know that. She, you'll see. You'll see.
That checks out.
Is there any other information that you want to provide before we close that portion of the hearing?
No, I just wanted to give you the required documents that was needed. I did check the list out. I gave you everything that was required to say that you live here in Fulton County. I would like to bring up my mate.
Okay.
That he can
Any witness you have can also testify. Okay.
All right.
Wait, we couldn't go down to, so Fulton County residents couldn't testify in opposition? That's not fair at all, man. Y'all see? They don't even treat people who live in Fulton County like this. This is something else. So Siggy gets to go up there and testify as to things, knowing that he could just repeat what she just said like it would matter. Who cares what he thinks? Siggy, go have a seat. Just sit your ass down.
This is Tiffany's man, chat.
Sir, if you would state your name and your address.
Small Woods.
And your address.
40 Land Way, Covington, Georgia.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the information you to provide is the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. How would you like to?
Yeah, why he look all of 112 years old. Why aren't you wearing a button-down shirt and a tie? How do you take this person seriously when her mate dresses like he's stuck at 15? Did you miss school today, young man? What high school does Siggy go to? Y'all. Oh, you can tell she had to send his teachers a note. Siggy not coming in today. He got to testify for me to get this job so I can get my hands on $1 billion budget. Please email me all his homework.
Proceed. What would you like us to know?
Just basically, I moved her in there in May. So we had been coming back and forth before May.
Okay.
So we were staying in hotels downtown until she found proper living quarters that should have been secret. But, you guys made it.
No. That's not how that works. No one went seeking her either, because it's funny. I've known her address this whole time, and I never told you all that because there's a child that lives there. But when you're talking about running for an elected position and there's a residency challenge, these things are going to come out. She chose to do this. You all are looking at the money. Perhaps you might want to think about getting a second residence, because you're not even important in this equation either way. You don't even have to testify right now, you clown. Yo, why is he standing here mumbling? Does anyone understand what the hell he's saying? Anyone understand what he had? I find it hilarious. He came up and just threw his hand up. Yeah, he's so used to putting his hand in the air, whether he's testifying or being sworn in, whatever. He's just so used to that. It was like second nature to him. Yeah. What's going on, Francisca? How you doing? on, Slinger. Oh, I'm so glad you like to subscribe. Thank you, dear heart. Oh, Skeeter, thank you for the $5 super. She's going to lose like hell. She is. Oh, my God. Michael says, is Tiffany taking her goons with her? I don't, who knows? Lord have mercy. Help us all. They're going to be moving down here slowly. Next thing you know, you'll see Squidward. You know, Freeman and Pet Potato Head, Lewis Lacey, they got to stay up there. Because, you know, they got FBI plea deals. They can't go nowhere. No, hell no. They'll go to jail. All these clowns that was in her entourage gonna be trickling down here. Oh, good God in heaven. It'll be a circus shit show. Super stupid. We don't have time for Squidward, okay? He might be on probation as well. Who knows? Did he go to jail? He did. Yeah, he went to jail, you know, because he broke a TV or something like that. He probably can't come down here and cross state lines. But Siggy, tell your Lagoon squad, stay the hell up there. We're not in the mood. Y'all are not that tough. And APD don't play that. So you might want to tell your Lagoon squad, stay the hell up there. Stay in Chirac where they feel most comfortable. Thank you so much for the super, Skeeter. I appreciate it. Shout out to you. Oh, man, y'all, everybody that's coming in, please hit that like button. Get ready to laugh because this is hilarious. That's all it is.
Public. She is notable. So.
Okay.
Not good to see someone touch on the news.
Oh, shit.
Is there anything else you want us to know with regard to residency?
Other than what you asking me questions, so I'm here to answer.
No one asked you to stand up there and talk, you dumb fuck. Is it serious? Their body coming out here with all that energy. And then you got these incompetent morons sitting here giving her all this extra time and attention. Being really nice. Why don't they treat them like they treat everybody else that's at the DMV? Get in line. Sir. Sir, you're going to have to step out the building. Get out. We're not doing that today, sir. God, are you serious? He got his ass up there and trying to be all rough and tough and his afro puff on his chin. Y'all, he got a whole afro on his chin. He looks like the reverse Frederick Douglass. Can you believe it? Come on, you look bad. Siggy, you literally look like a Newport that's been smoked. Why is your beard, this part right here, just this part right here, why is that gray and white? And it's bushy. You didn't trim that down. It looks like two little bunny rabbit cottontails right there, just kind of pushed up in there. You're looking like somebody's ancient father. Wearing a Lacoste polo shirt and a hat with earrings in both ears. Siggy, that's weird. That's so weird. I don't know if you know what that means down here, but you might want to take one of them earrings out your ear. And then you got cottontails on your face. You can't do this.
Oh, come on.
The board might have questions, but I didn't know if you were prepared as a witness to make a statement and you said where you lived and things like that.
Right.
Okay. Anything else, Miss Henyard?
I just want to tell her if they got any questions. Anybody got any questions?
I'll handle that part after Miss Henyard's part, and the board will ask questions probably of Miss Henyard.
Sit your ass
and it could
down.
be of you as well.
Is she filming?
What else?
I was saying, is there any other presentation you want to make before we ask you questions? I want to give you.
Oh, they so dumb. They came down here. Listen, he got up there because she wanted him to testify to her residence that she lives here. That's it. That's all he had to say. No, he wants to get up there and get smart. Sit your Abraham Lincoln ass down somewhere. Thomas Jefferson left one of his grandkids behind. Yeah, I thought Easter was over. Nobody told him to get his old weird looking ass. Y'all, look at what he got on. Come on. You dumb ass. Why didn't you put on a shirt and tie? And you barely opening your mouth when you talk. Do you have lockjaw? Is it wired shut or what? I mean, what are we doing? You know, I know those bones might be a brittle. Y'all, them bones are aching in that face because he can barely open his mouth. You got father time playing games all over your beard. It's just completely white. It's not even a hint of black there at all. He's not even trying. No one told you to get your old ass up there and say anything. You chose to testify. You're going to tell them, do you all have any questions? No. Why are you here? It's my question. I'm sorry, I do have one. Why are you here? We don't need all that energy. I'm going to treat you like they do at the DMV. You better go sit your ass down, boy. Father Abraham came in trying to stir up some nonsense. Can you believe it? This is a Fulton County elections hearing for a residency challenge. Get your ass on somewhere.
Questions? Anybody got any questions?
I'll handle that part after Ms. Henyard's point, and the board will ask questions probably of Ms. Henyard. And it could be of you as well.
Is she filming?
What else? I was saying, is there any other presentation you want to make before we ask you questions? I want to give you.
Hold on. Are they filming on that phone? Did y'all see that?
Yes, girl, they filming, girl.
A full and fair opportunity to make any statements that you want to make first. If you would begin again because it didn't get picked up.
Sure. I said, my residency is real, lawful, and fully supported by evidence. I physically moved to Georgia in May of 2025. I established my home, opened my business, and I have continuously lived here. Under Georgia law, residency is based on
He is filming, chat. Look at that orange iPhone.
Oh, my
on
dear
actual
Lord.
presence and intent to remain, not paperwork time. The facts are clear. I live here. I work here.
Siggy, your belly is sticking out. It's protruding past your boobs. Y'all, he got all the peepaw written all over his face. He is definitely somebody's granddaddy. What the hell is he doing? Why are you recording them? They already recorded. You know what? Whatever. It's just funny that he's standing there as if they're supposed to be afraid of him. Oh, Siggy. Yeah, you're going to meet APD the hard way or the easy way. Your choice. But I guarantee you, your ass will be crying when they're done with you. All that energy coming from him. Oh, Lord, y'all. It's like the beard is parting like the Red Sea. Who knew? He has a division down the middle of the beard. What were you trying to do, Siggy? Was it a design or something? What was it really to look like two separate beards? It's all white, y'all. Siggy, what was it like in 1756? It had to be something else. That must have been an era. You would have experienced some hard times. Yeah, I mean, I just regale us of the times of, what happened during Underground Railroad. What was Harriet Tubman like? We know you know. His ass came down here 300 years forward just to be an asshole. Can you believe it?
And I apologize for that.
All right. We'll close that portion of the hearing.
I want to just add just a couple things. Just
continue on.
To record, just so that you guys will have it.
All
Georgia law, OCGA 21-2-217 defines residency as where a person actually lives with intent to remain.
Okay, so that's a statute. Definition.
And last but not least, basically, I just want you guys to know that the law was clear and the evidence is clear. And again, I live here in Fulton. I built my life here, and I meet the legal requirements to run for office.
God, you've been here a year. How you build a whole life? That confirms she's simple. It don't take much. As long as I got my mate, Father Abraham, my kid, and skateboards and clothes, we good. Why in the hell are you running for a position then? Having a job is just it's incomprehensible for her. And Siggy don't want to work no damn well. He was like, "Nah, my back gonna hurt."
This challenge is not about residency. I feel it's about politics, but the facts made it clear, and the facts matter, and the facts are on my side. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And you should remain at the podium for questions from the board. Anyone who wants to go first?
They straight up filming.
Member Crawford, then Member Silver, and then Member Adams.
Straight up filming. Crazy.
You said that your utilities were paid under your lease.
Yes.
Is that correct? Well, under your lease, it says resident is responsible for payment of all natural gas, electricity, water, sewer, telephone.
Oh my God. Keep going.
Cable. Do you have any bills to support that? Because it's not, according to this lease, it's not paid by.
So
super stupid. Super stupid. You cannot treat everybody as if they're illiterate. Only you are. And Siggy. You two are the dummies that can't read. Why didn't you show them a separate? Didn't I say a power bill, gas bill, or a lease in my last video? I practically laid it out for her. That's how dumb she is. She didn't even try. Didn't I say that to prove residence, you can't even use a cell phone bill? You need like a power bill or the water bill or your lease. Utilities. You can't, cell phone's not even considered a utility now. Not for residency, not for this. You can print out a bill from Georgia. Who is your power company? If your lease agreement does not specifically say that utilities are included, wouldn't you want to have something separate from your landlord where what that is outlined? I don't have any utilities in my name because they're actually included as a part of my lease agreement and my rent. And here's a separate document. It's an addendum to my lease where my landlord broke down the expenses and signed and dated, and I signed and dated because it's not in the original lease itself. Like, I literally told her like 2-3 bills she could have. Boy, you give her a cheat code and she's just like, no, that's too smart. We're still gonna be stuck on stupid. we're gonna make it hard for everybody. She's treating these people like they can't read. You know, I mean, they're her being incompetent, this bullshit, because somebody couldn't send an email. And he's sitting here like giving her way too much benefit of the doubt. They don't even do their own residents like this. But yet and still, you didn't show up with a power bill or a gas bill or something from your landlord saying that all of that is included. They're only going to read what you're giving them. She expect them to mind read and just believe what she say? Are you serious?
Yes, I do.
Wait, so you lied?
So I can show you.
But you lied.
Like a screenshot of my phone from the app that
you said it was included.
With the agent that'll show you water, trash. It'll show you, and then it'll show you me paying.
Water, trash.
Pull that up.
Well, but it says resident is responsible for payment. So do you get billed, or do you get a separate bill from the electric company?
Electric is in Kamal's name, but the water, the
what? Look how he's standing there looking at her like, why the hell you just tell him that? The power bill is in his name? You're trying to prove residency. And the power bill, one of the major utility bills, is in his name, but not the lease. What about the gas bill, super stupid? Good grief, you're a moron. Why is that? Why would you even tell them that? Why would you even say that? Why say it's all included in the lease when it's not? He clearly has the power bill in his name. That proves that the power bill is not included in the lease. If it is just the water and sewage, that's one utility. Typically, water and sewage are billed together. But the power bill, the gas bill, if it's gas in the home, is going to be separate. Why would you say the one major utility that's billed separately is in his name? What the hell? Oh, man. Oh, this is priceless, super stupid. You better be glad these people here on this board are just as incompetent as you are. Because that's how she remained on this ballot. They still voted 3-1 to let her stay on. Because idiots don't know how to send emails. You can't make this
trash, all of that is in my name. It's all under my lease. So when I make my payment, it tells you what I pay. That's why I can show you the payment registry, and it'll show you me paying those things that you're speaking of.
But not the power bills.
Okay, if you'll get that copy, I would appreciate it, please.
I'll do that now.
And my last question is,
why did she? I thought she gave this stuff to them before this. She said I gave everything to you all. So what the hell did you give them? Siki just standing there looking like a lump on a log. You know, an old Cap America, the dumb version, with 2 cottontail bunny tails on his face. You know. Just looking all of 238 years old. Siki, I'm going in on you.
What did you do in Illinois to cease being a member of cease being the mayor since your term was not up?
Lost like in a landslide and nothing more. She collected a check until the new incumbent was sworn in. That's the problem. She didn't do shit else in between that. She just ran them out. When she did get online, and she sulked because, you know, she was too delusional in thinking that she was actually going to win. No, girl. She didn't plan for the inevitable. If I lose, here's what I'm going to do. Notice how she didn't do anything else. Like, she doesn't go to the meetings to still fight for the residents. None of that shit. No, she just moved to a whole new state and said, I'm just going to leave all of this behind. You all can kiss my ass. That's it. I don't care about none of you. Now she want to come down here and pretend like she care about Fulton County when she has no idea where, when she went to Centennial Park talking about, oh, there are no good parks here. Really? Yeah, oh, we got that coming up. Yeah, because I do recall when you came down here, super stupid, and you went to a very good park. And you were captured. I covered it in a video. Yeah, it's so funny. We're going to go over it.
Wait, say that again?
Since your term was not up in Illinois and you had moved here, did you resign as mayor?
My term was up. My election was in February. I did not win re-election.
That's the primary. That's primary. Super stupid. You talk too much. You're an idiot. And I say that with everything I got in me. You're an idiot. You talk too much. That was not the main election in February. That was the primary. You were still mayor until the new mayor was sworn in. You still got paid. What they should have said is, can you show us your W-2 or your paycheck stub? The last paycheck stub you received as mayor and supervisor of Thornton Township. That's what they should have asked for. What is the date of the last payment you got from them as mayor and supervisor? That's it. That would have solved it. That's what I mean by the incompetency of it all. They couldn't even ask the right questions. Let's get to it. When did you get your last paycheck? Can you show us that paycheck stub so we can see the dates ourselves? Because that'll just tell us everything we need to know. Good grief.
Therefore, I seek to move from the state. And that's exactly what we did.
You can't make this up.
I guess I had the date wrong. I apologize.
No, you didn't.
Members of
over the news.
Thank you, Miss.
Oh, y'all see what I mean by incompetence. Lady, you didn't have the date wrong. February was the primary. That wasn't the main election. Oh my God. What you call it wasn't sworn in until like May 5th or something like that? So from February to May, she was still getting paid as the mayor. They should have asked for her paycheck stub. We want a pay stub. We want to see the last time you got paid as a mayor and supervisor of Thornton Township and mayor of Dalton in an entirely different state. Because that means you were still serving in that role. They're not going to just pay you if you're not in the role. If that be the case, Dalton should send me like $150,000 just because. They should send us all a boatload of money and never have to serve as mayor or supervisor. Just send me 6 figures from each position. just for the super stupid giving us all a headache. It's because this is so dumb. Nah, I must have been mistaken then. Are you? Oh my God.
Thank you for coming and for, taking the time to run for office. I know it's not always to put yourself out. It's not easy.
Oh,
I hope
okay.
you respect our position of needing to make an inquiry based on questions that have arisen about your candidacy. Share with me. So you are currently registered to vote in Illinois. Is that correct?
No, I'm currently to vote here in Fulton County.
Right. Okay. So
I gave you my voter registration paperwork.
okay.
She did say
And
that.
it may be that just that the Illinois still has you as registered, but I assume that there's no requirement that you call and discontinue your registration, but I guess it would happen in the normal course. But right now it shows that you're still registered to vote in Illinois.
Wow.
When was the first date that you paid rent in Georgia?
I can't hear you.
When did you first pay rent?
May 1.
So you moved in May 1. When did you actually make your first payment? Did you make your payment May 1?
May 1. You have to
Okay,
pay money to move into the place.
Okay.
I wish they let me in for free, but you got to
So
pay.
so
That's
the
2025, correct?
That's 2025.
Okay. And you live in, is it Union City that you live in or College Park? What city is it?
It's Union City.
It is Union City?
It is.
Okay. And you're self-employed. So that's the only employment you have right now is self-employment with
That's
New
correct.
Wave?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Yes, you're
No, that would be the only employment she will ever have. She will never ever just get a job, fill out an application, submit a resume, and go work for someone. No, some people they just can't do that. I personally prefer she not, because if she get a hold to a budget or a credit card, there goes the company. I mean, as much as I want her to get a job and be a responsible adult and all that, what if she gets a job? Let's say she gets a job with Walmart, right? And then she finds out like this cash register, it's like not only does it hold money, it holds money that people are giving me in exchange for these items. Because super stupid is super simple. Okay. Then she gets a bright idea, to start putting that money in her pocket. Then what? Now she's just looking at all these cash registers in Walmart like it's her playground in her bank accounts. Then she started stealing money out of there. Can you imagine it? Like someone like her getting a job where she actually has access to cash in real time. I don't care where you put her. Walmart, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, pick a place. You put her in front of a cash register with cash, that money will come up missing. It's inevitable. It's going to come up missing. That's it. You won't have a shot.
Your friend, I think it's Kamal Woods, is that right?
It is.
Had mentioned that you guys were traveling here
Lord.
to, before you found your residence to move into, coming in and out of town, staying at a hotel. How long were you doing that? Coming in and looking for a place?
So it was just for the month of April.
Month of April? Okay. Okay. And when was your last day as mayor in the city that you were in?
Basically, like I just spoke to her, I lost the election in February. So I was no longer the mayor.
But
Somebody else had won. And it's just a matter of.
But when was your last day and the new mayor sworn in is my question.
The new mayor got sworn in May 5th.
Okay. So were you mayor till May 4th?
I was no longer serving in that capacity. That's why we was transferring to the state.
Were you mayor?
So after the election, there was no mayor until
basically I was a lame duck. Basically, I couldn't do anything.
But you were mayor, correct?
My title was mayor, yes.
Okay. Okay. And
you got paid. So man, this is the only board member here that asks questions and actually gives responses that make sense. It shows that somebody is really taking this seriously. So there was no mayor until May 5th. I was a lame duck. Were you getting paid from the city of Dalton or the village of Dalton and Thornton Township? Because it was two of them. They keep saying mayor and they forgetting the supervisor one. The supervisor one paid more, I think, didn't it? It had more benefits, something like that. They had a bigger budget too. Were you still getting a paycheck until May 4th or May 5th? Yes or no? Can we see that pay stub? That's easy to me. So all this fluff would have been eliminated if they would have just flat out asked for a pay stub of the last check she received from the village of Dalton and Thornton Township. Period. The end. That's it. That's the whole challenge hearing. Because they want to know, are you serving in these roles which would indicate you were a permanent resident? You can't be a permanent resident of two different states at the same damn time when it comes to you running for an elected official position. You just coming down here to open up a clothing store is one thing. You talking about you want to be Fulton County Commissioner, that's another. They making this, it's like we want to do the right thing and go through this hearing, but we're not putting any effort into any of this. We will not look up any state laws. This is the only member, the board member here, that's asking questions that, yes, thank you. Please just let her talk the whole time. The rest of them are just kind of stuck in la la land, just kind of throwing stuff out there.
Are you aware? Well, first of all, you live on Dobson Avenue in Illinois, in Cook County, correct? And was that a lease agreement that you lived there?
I know, right, Sharon? No. The board is ridiculous.
Did you own the home?
No.
How did you live there?
I live there. Everybody know my story. I'm not here for
ma'am, I don't know your story.
No. I'm not here for that. No, that's exactly what you're there for. It's a challenge hearing pursuant to OCGA 21-2-6B as in boy. This is a challenge hearing according to state law. You are there for that. That is exactly what you're there for. Otherwise, you and Siggy can go take it to the house. And you could go put Siggy back in the tub so he can soak them old 258-year-old bones and get the hell on somewhere. No one told you to do that. You chose to go and run for Fulton County Commissioner as a Republican. Boy, y'all, listen. I'm not political at all. But let me tell you something. If the Republicans in District 5 allow this bullshit to go on any longer than they need to, then they get what's coming to them. I don't know how else to put that.
As it relates to addresses,
as it relates,
but everybody know where I live. I'm a public figure, was a public figure, and therefore.
Wait, Siggy said it should have been a secret. So, should we care or should we not care? I mean, which one is it? It can't be both. You either want people to know where the hell you live or you don't. Everybody know where I live. It wasn't a secret. But it should have been, right? According to Siggy. He's standing there trying to be like the big buff bodyguard. All of 142 years old. What is this stuff on his arm? Siggy, you need a bath.
Who I stay. But currently, I live here in Fulton County. My address is what everybody displayed on the news. And basically, I've been here since May 1. And I have a lease. So we're supposed to stay within the laws. The law requires me to make sure I have domicile. And my tent,
don't
my
ask
family
me
lives
about
here. My
nothing
business is here. I am here. I live here. So we can talk about the past, the what ifs, but right now, the law.
No, they can question that. That's the problem. That's exactly what they can do. They get to question and challenge where you previously lived when it comes to permanent residency, you dumb ass girl. Are you kidding me? This moron is like, oh, we can talk about the past if you want, but yes, that's why you're there. To talk about your previous permanent residency. To see if it overlaps with your current permanent residency. You see, super stupid. I told you this in my last live stream that you watch because you put on a black suit. I told you this. What part of this are you missing? Put on a closed caption so you can see the words come up on the screen. They have the right under state law to challenge your permanent residency to see if you try to say that you occupied domicile, had permanent residency in a different state. At the same time, you moved to Georgia claiming permanent residency here. Hopefully the words And the closed caption came across very clearly so that you can read and understand what the hell I just said. My God, today, as my Chaos Brew put it. You can't make this up. And she has the nerve to be arrogant about this. Girl, if you don't go have several seats.
Oh, I stay here in Fulton County.
Okay.
I can't get over the orange phone on the podium. I've never seen that. I've never seen that shit before. I've never seen that shit before.
Just gotten information. It's not verified, but that you are still at the Dobson Avenue location as early as the beginning of 2026. But it's unconfirmed. Somebody just sent it to me.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay. And so when you moved here, you got your lease for your place.
Super stupid. We're not obligated to believe anything you say. You're a pathological liar. We're not obligated to believe a word that comes out of your mouth. We don't have to. You understand? We don't have to believe you. They should have asked her for a paycheck stub. This is ridiculous.
To live. And when did you get your driver's license?
I'm not sure of the date I got it.
Okay.
But I do have it.
2026.
Based on what you turned in and based on Catherine Glenn's information, you got your driver's license on February 26th of 2026.
This year.
Okay.
Does that sound right to you?
It does.
And you registered.
She said, I didn't know. Didn't she just say, I don't know? I'm not sure of the date. I'm not sure of the date. Super stupid. You're so dumb. That was a dumb lie. Don't you have your driver's license in your hand? Oh, no. She showed a photo of it in the beginning. You all recall? Do you all recall her holding that up? You holding up this is it. She held it up. So you're not sure of the date now when you held it up? You little dummy girl. Here it is.
Where's the license is the question.
She held it up. I'm trying to go back to when she first held it up.
Where's the license is the
question. To give, which I know you probably had it, but my ID that states that I live here in Fort.
The ID. So you couldn't look at that paper you held up just 15 minutes prior and look at the date of when it was issued. It's next to issued date. If you all take a look at your ID or driver's license, you will see your date of birth, you will see an issued date, and you will see an expiration date. Hit the 4. You should see 3 dates on your ID, your state ID or your driver's license. Hit the 4 if you see that. Hit the 4. Hit the 4. Because super stupid is trying to play people like they're stupid in real time. So in real time, I'm going to make her look like the idiot that she sounds like. Because you're trying to play us, girl. You held up your ID. You don't recall the date it was issued on there. It's on your ID. You have date of birth. Across from it, you may see, depending on the formatting of your state ID or driver's license, based on what state you live in. But if you're in Georgia, you'll have your date of birth. Across from it, you'll see expiration date. And then if you go down under the address, you will see issued date. So you would have seen that towards the bottom underneath your address. You couldn't look at that on your ID, girl. Tiffany Henyard. You had the paper right there. All of a sudden, you can't recall the date issued. Why? Pretending to be stupid doesn't make you smarter. It just confirms you're dumb. You can't make this up. Hit the 4. Y'all see y'all issued date on y'all driver's license? Hit the 4. Hit the 4. Hit the 4. Because you can't make this up. This girl got her ID in her hand. And she's saying, I don't recall. Holy moly. This is in the beginning when she showed it. Y'all, can you believe this? Now all of a sudden, I don't recall. What do you mean you don't recall? Oh, this is priceless. Oh, this is priceless. I'm not sure of the date. When she could have just looked at the damn paper she held up at the beginning and looked at the issued date. Oh, you so stupid, Tiffany Henyard. You're so dumb. What's worse is that the rest of these board members, except the lady that's questioning her, the rest of them are just flat out incompetent as hell. And it's almost like, wow, this could have been like a cookie crush moment. Like they could have just crushed it if they were smarter than she is. But they're acting all like they all on the same level. And it's embarrassing as fuck. I'm gonna tell you all that right now. This is embarrassing as hell. Okay. It's like they sit here trying to challenge her and they couldn't even send out an email. God. But she didn't have to stand here and just lie like hell like this. This is how bad she lied. We're at the 18-minute, 56-second mark. She showed her ID up there at the 3-minute, 29-second mark. So 15 minutes later, all of a sudden, she can't recall the issued date on her ID that she has right in front of her with her documents. My God, today. Girl.
Daddy. Okay.
But I do have it.
Based on what you turned in and based on Catherine Glenn's information, you got your driver's license on February 26th of 2026.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
Does that sound right to you?
It does.
And
of course it does, because you have the paper in front of you with the copy of your ID, you dumbass girl. Of course it does. You didn't even bother to look down to confirm it. You know what? I got my copy of my ID. Let me look at it right quick. Hold on. Yep. February of 2026 this year. If you weren't concerned about it, why would you stand there and act like you don't recall? So you and Siggy are still stuck on stupid on steroids? Is that what we're doing? Y'all, he's still standing there in his... Oh, look at his too little shirt. Why is his boob showing? Y'all look at his boob is coming through. Come on, you got to put on a bra, man. Come on, needs to wear a bra. Siggy, you could have got a black sports bra and put on a sports bra. Why your boobs ain't? It's about as bad as this guy's boobs back here. Yeah, this is a man back here, okay? This is a man back here. Your boobs are almost like his, Siggy. You should be embarrassed. You might want to do some push-ups. You need to start going out walking and stuff. Siggy, all you got to do, because I know you watching, you dumbass. Turn around and look at this guy behind you. Your boobs are almost down like his. It's almost saggy. Y'all, who knew? Oh, man, it's a sad day when you got two grown men that need bras.
And you registered to vote on February 27th of 26.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And prior to you getting your driver's license here, did you have your Illinois license? Is that what you were using to drive?
Well, I don't drive, but I do. Or
it's a damn lie. She drives. She drives. Why would you have a driver's license if you didn't drive? You just get a state ID, wouldn't you? And if you drive with a state ID and you understand you're going to jail, right? You get pulled out. Ah, super stupid. You know what you've handed us? Permission to report you to the DMV or the Department of Driver Services. Yeah, she didn't get her driver's license switched over after 30 days of being here. And I know this girl get behind the wheel of a car. Here are many videos of her being behind the wheel of a car. She doesn't have a driver's license. Y'all might want to go collect her ass. And it's not hard to find her because she's trying to run for a Fulton County commissioner. And here's where she works because she put all that shit out there. Be careful, Sicky's gonna need a bra. Don't let his boobs hit you in the face.
Did have that license. That's correct.
Okay. So are you aware that in Georgia?
See, I see where she's getting at here. And as a resident myself, or when I moved to Georgia, here's what I will show you. Okay. without
Oh,
revealing
Jay
everything.
Witt,
It's
how
my
you
Massachusetts
doing, honey?
driver's license, okay? And then this is when I moved to Fulton County, this is my Georgia driver's license, all right? Now, what happened is when I went to the DMV, I had to show my lease, proof of residency, utilities, all of that in order for them to issue me this guy. Now, what they did.
Oh, I'm so glad she's saying this. Y'all shout out to Jay Witt. Oh, show some love for my brother. Jay Witt, did you know Siggy had boobs? He need a bra. He's standing there just like a 15-year-old boy with the face of a 248-year-old man. He got a whole white beard with cotton bunny tails. It's a beard at the end. He's not even trying. He just let himself go. He thought all that black would cover it up. No. How you doing, Jay Witt? How you doing, Deacon? How you doing? Happy Monday to you. You was there? Oh, Lord have mercy. Where were you at? What were you wearing? Why you didn't tell me? What you got on?
Is they took this Massachusetts one and they permanent marker, no longer valid. Okay. And then they said, welcome to Georgia. Okay. That's how that worked. Now what
you had on, Jay Witt? You got on a what now? You was there. What were you wearing? Y'all, we might see Jay Witt there. Lord have mercy. Shout out to you. He's a mess, but he has to support his gravy tray. Exactly. He tried to get up there. Oh, Lord have mercy. Sitting right next to the white guy with green polo behind Kamal. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're going to look for you. Yo, he getting up here talking about he trying to testify, and then he talking about, I thought y'all had questions for me. No one had questions for his ass. He was completely irrelevant. He was not needed to testify at all. I told the Luxes, I said, all they really needed was her pay stub to show when she was last paid as mayor and supervisor in the state of Illinois. And then see if that overlapped with the time that she was trying to claim permanent residence here in Georgia. She already broke the law by failing to get her driver's license converted over in 30 days. But just like AV to the seventh power is about to explain, you would have to have proof of residence, such as a lease agreement, a power bill, plus your date of birth, your social security card, something proving, something proving that you stay here to get your driver's license. She waited an entire year. She was supposed to do it in 30 days. You say you streamed it, but the audio was trash? Really? Don't worry about it. Fulton County elections audio was trash as well. AV to the seventh power's audio was enhanced. So that's why we use hers. It's very clear. But even Fulton County's audio is garbage. Ciao. His utility bills. Yeah, she one of the utility bills is in Siggy's name. The power bill is in Siggy's name. She already told on herself with that one. Super stupid, I caught it. The power bill is in Siggy's name. They may not have gas because it could be a total electric house. They're renting. And she said water and sewage is included in the lease. So the one other utility bill she could have to prove permanent residence is in his name. You can't make this stuff up. He's not the one running for Fulton County Commissioner, though. I was like, why would she say that out loud? It's so crazy. Oh, Jay Witt, it's good to see you, honey. Let's get back to y'all. Shout out to Jay Witt. Make sure you go check him out. Jay Witt Podcast. We can get someone to drop this YouTube channel link. Jay Witt, you a mod. Drop your channel link in the chat. Don't even have to ask, honey. All right, let's get back to it.
See what's about to happen because I think I know what she's getting at.
Georgia, to be a resident, within 30 days, you have to get your Georgia driver's license.
No, I'm not aware of that. But again, that's not a requirement of when I.
That's state law, girl. That's the law. Super stupid. It's called a law. It's a law. It's legal. It's a law. State law. You can't make this up. They have the challenge hearing pursuant to. That means that this challenge hearing is in accordance with state law. OCGA is state law. And somehow you don't understand laws when it comes to a driver's license. Girl, bye, Felicia.
Change my ID. The requirement is where I live, my domicile. It has nothing to do with a license.
Well, following Georgia law does have to do with whether you're a resident or not. I don't know if you know this or not.
Right.
I'm pretty basic when it comes to tech stuff, but I did a search for how to become a Georgia resident.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even have to say that. She could have said, well, according to state law, and then cited the code, you are required, if you claim to be a resident of Georgia, because this is a residency hearing, to have your driver's license transferred from out of state to Georgia within 30 days of you moving here. That is the law. We don't debate laws. That's that. The end. And this whole thing would have been like shattered, along with her paycheck stub of the last payment she received as mayor and supervisor in Illinois. Clearly, there's an overlap. And she's trying to pass off as if she's had permanent residence for a year when she didn't. Because it wouldn't count if you're trying to claim permanent residence in another state. Especially when you can't follow one simple state law of having your driver's license transferred over to the state that you're now claiming permanent residence of. Within the time frame the law says you should have it done by. Why did it take her a whole year? She had already signed a lease. She could have used that to get her driver's license. Why did it take a year? Unless the lease was never truly signed and she couldn't use it to get her driver's license. Super stupid. You really think that everyone else is dumber than you, girl? We have a way of getting our research on and figuring out what the hell you're doing. It's clear you're trying to get your hands on $1 billion budget and scam Fulton County, but it's not hard to see. There could have been a hiccup, an issue with that lease agreement, perhaps not being in effect. Because who else would wait a whole year? That's just lazy work. You purposefully waited a year to get your driver's license transferred to Georgia. Purposefully. Even if you don't drive, your state ID. And if it were a matter of her being financially harmed, she would have had her ID transferred a long time ago. If it was a matter of, if I don't get Georgia ID, I can't get a paycheck type of thing. So you can imagine they use Siggy's light bill to enroll the little girl in school because her lease has some problems with it. It wasn't signed from what we hear.
And it says, first you get a domicile, a place to live, and then within 30 days you get a driver's license and you register your vehicle in the state.
Right.
That's what I did.
And
That's the law.
That's it. Those are the only requirements. And then it suggests that you register to vote, but it doesn't require you to do that. Are you aware of that?
Again,
Yes.
sticking to the law. The law requires me to make sure I live.
What she just cited was the law, you dummy. This woman just cited what the law states. You can't make this up. The law requires for you to transfer your state ID, your driver's license in 30 days. And your vehicle registration. If you have a vehicle. If you don't have a vehicle, then your state ID within 30 days. That's the law. She cited the law. You can't make this up.
That I have a lease, a legal lease that you do have.
Right.
Meet the requirements of 1 year of living here to run for office. I mean, all those requirements.
See, that's what I don't understand. Because even with me, I was not allowed to transfer this driver's license from Massachusetts to Georgia. I had to apply for a Georgia driver's license. That's why, I don't know, but you have to show the lease for proof of residency. You can show other things, but some may right here. Some just not right.
Based on OCGA 40-5-20.
That's the statute. She is citing the state statute code because she was telling her the law. And she said, we're following the law. Okay, well, this is the law. You can't ignore one law to follow the other because the other one is the one you want to go with. Now, this one, it suits my dumb moot point. So I'm going to just cite this law, ignore all the others, because this one is the one I want to abuse and misuse because it fits my point. It goes with my narrative. You're screwing my narrative up, lady.
Georgia law requires that residents get a license within 30 days. So, and it looks like it was February 26th, based on the information you gave us and Ms. Glenn gave us. You got your driver's license on February 26th, which would be less than a year before the position takes place.
That's
correct?
not true. That is not the law. The law does not state that.
Is
and I will
the
refer
law.
to the attorney to state the law. The law
Tiffany.
states.
Oh my God. Yo, oh, she's so dumb. She's so dumb. OCGA 4-5-20 is a whole ass law. It's a whole law. Oh, girl. Was it 04? Hold on. Oh, super stupid. You're making me do this because you're an idiot.
But you have to show the lease for proof of residency. You can't show other things, but some ain't right here. Some just not right.
Based on OCGA 40-5-20, Georgia law requires that residents get a license within 30 days. So, and
all right, because reading is fundamental. OCGA 40-5-20 is the Georgia law that makes it illegal to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. OCGA 40-5-20 requires that any person driving a motor vehicle on Georgia highways must have a valid driver's license issued under Georgia law for the type or class of vehicle being driven. This applies to both residents and non-residents, with residents required to obtain a Georgia license within 30 days of establishing residency. With residents required, see, she wants to claim to be a permanent resident to run for an elected official position. To all the Hentards, reading is fundamental, and that's what we do here in the LLC. With residents required to obtain a Georgia license within 30 days of establishing residency. You want to prove permanent residency? Even if you're not driving a vehicle, you still need to establish that permanent residency with state ID. And the only way to get that is to apply for it. And you have to have proof that you are living here, with some sort of valid lease agreement. Because the light bill was in Siggy's name. The statute also covers individuals who exercise control over a vehicle being towed, requiring a valid license for the towing vehicle. License requirement, surrender prior licenses, applicants for a Georgia license. Here we go, because, this part is imperative to you. Super pay attention, because, you don't understand laws. You don't read, you don't know laws. You're not a lawyer. You're dumb. Here you go. Surrender of prior licenses. Applicants for a Georgia license must surrender any other valid licenses from Georgia or other jurisdictions. The surrendered license is marked invalid, returned to the person, and a receipt is issued until the permanent license arrives. Legal consequences. Violating OCGA 40-5-20 is considered driving without a license, which is distinct from driving with a suspended or revoked license, which is a whole different law. First offenses are typically treated as misdemeanors and may result in fines, but jail time is generally discretionary and can sometimes be avoided with legal representation. All you got to do is follow the law. Because, wouldn't that be easier to do? We're just going to follow the law. We're also going to read it and not try to tell someone that's not what the law says. Because you're illiterate and you don't know how to read, I guess. Are you coming down here trying to act as if you're in some alternate reality? We're not in the effing mood. Super stupid. The law is very clear. All you had to do was Google it on that orange ugly phone. And you failed to do that. See, Siggy is standing there being absolutely useless. He could have Googled the statute code that the woman cited in real time. No, that's too much like right. Can't make this up.
And it looks like it was February 26th based on the information you gave us and Miss Glenn gave us. You got your driver's license on February 26th, which would be less than a year before the position takes place.
That's not true. That is not the law. The law does not state that. And I will refer to the attorney to state the law. The law states domicile. The law states a resident living here in Georgia for 1 year from the date of my lease. My lease is May 1. I live here in Georgia.
Okay.
It do not say anything about you got a timeline to change your ID. It states, where do you live? What is your intent?
Well, I also did a search. I don't remember the wording, saying I just moved to Georgia. What do I do to become a resident? And it said the same thing. It said you have 30 days. And I do want to tell you too that in most states, I looked up the states. Most states, it says within 30 to 60 days, you have to get your driver's license and register your car.
Yeah, that would probably be the same thing in Illinois. You know, the state she left and ran from because she lost like hell in a landslide. Super. The FBI is, national. It's a federal agency. They can come and get you in Georgia. I hope you know that. Coming here does not hide you out from them. I mean, you're not even trying to stay hidden either. But, it's not that you become untouchable because you moved to Georgia. I hope you know that. You can still be faced with subpoenas and summons and everything else in between. So running here to Georgia does not shield you from legal troubles in Illinois. But if you want to be dumb enough to think that, girl, find out the hard way when they kick that door in.
And in some occasional states, it says 90 days. But Illinois and Georgia is, under 60 days. So that is a requirement.
That has nothing to do with the law. If I just stated I do not drive, and you're saying about a driver's license, I don't drive. He drives. I don't even own a car. So again, you're hovering over something that's not.
It's irrelevant to whether you own a car. You don't have to own a car to drive a car. That's not a requirement. Whether it's state ID or driver's license is irrelevant. You're trying to claim permanent residency. You need state ID. Why in the world would you want to still have Illinois ID on you? And you trying to claim that you're a permanent resident of Georgia again? Y'all make it make sense. You can't make this up. The lady gave them the statute code, right?
Relevant to the law. The law states domicile, which I have, which I just proved to everybody. I gave you documentation.
Well, wait. Wouldn't we still have the same requirements for an ID? Can you transfer your ID? I don't know.
Everything you need to say that I am a Georgia resident.
One more question. Did you know that in Cook County, Illinois, to hold an office there, you have to be a resident in that jurisdiction? So you were the mayor until May 4th of 2025, but yet you're saying you became a resident of Georgia May 1st of 2025.
So 3 days. Are we going to, I don't know.
So were you a resident?
You can't be a permanent resident of two different states in the United States of America. They should have let this lady do all the talking in all the meetings. Oh, I love this lady so much. What's her name? Adams. Oh, is it? I see it's Julie something down there. Miss Julie something. What's her name? Hold on. Let me take down the caption. I have to see her name. Oh, Miss Julie Adams. Oh, honey, you're the only one that's not incompetent. The rest of them can kick rocks. Oh, my goodness. All she had to do was say, you cannot be a permanent resident because if you were a mayor and supervisor in another state, you were a permanent resident there because you were holding office there in the state of Illinois. So you signing that lease on May 1st would not count towards permanent residence in the state of Georgia in order for you to run for office here, because you were still holding office in another state, which the state law, and here's the opportunity where she could have put the statute code out there about that as well. State law cites you cannot hold office in another state while seeking office in the state of Georgia. State law. And that would have been case closed right there. She could have slam dunked it. Oh, lady.
Resident of both states at the time.
I already answered that. I was a resident here May 1.
While you were mayor, and
You can word it however you like. I was a
Dalton.
resident here of May 1, 2025. I no longer had the position. I
She's
stated
sitting there
that.
laughing,
Testified to
this
that.
is unbelievable.
February of 2025, I lost the election. Therefore, we start to transition here to Georgia, which
Did you
testified to its way.
did you get paid through May 5th or May 4th as mayor of Dalton?
Yes. Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just wanted to read something for driver
Yep.
license time at a late.
The answer is yes, she did. That's why I said they should have just asked for a paycheck stuff. Problem solved. I don't see Jay Witt back there. Siggy, go sit your ass. He just standing there looking like a dummy.
Georgia license does not automatically default residency if actual resident existed. So I want to put that on the record.
I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm reading something again from y'all laws and from your book.
From y'all's law.
It says
Y'all laws and
Tiffany!
books.
No, this is not how you connect with Georgia voters. Tiffany! Stop it! Don't get defensive.
driver license timing. A late
Y'all's
Georgia
laws.
license does not automatically defeat residency if actual resident existed. I just wanted to put that for the record so that
Can you give me the citation on that? That would be
Yeah, hold on.
OCGA what?
Yep, let me get something.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If you're running for office, please don't call it y'all's laws. Like, don't.
Y'all's laws.
These are statutes that you have to abide by, and that you're moving.
Exactly. It's like, oh no, y'all law don't apply to me unless it's convenient. Here's y'all's laws. But you're trying to run for a position in Fulton County in the state of Georgia, where our laws would apply to you as well, you dumbass. You can't make this up. No, it's just our laws. Okay, well, why don't you take your ass back to Illinois so our laws will not apply to you? There's a thought. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for super stupid going back to Illinois so our Georgia laws can apply to us and not her. You know, what's good for thee is not for me.
Moving into this area to defend, to change, to
hey, Miss
create
Coco.
more demonstrative change with legislation or whatever her seat really holds. But like, don't call it y'all's laws, Tiff. Come on, Tiff. Come on, Tiffy.
Oh my God.
How you doing that? Here,
Give us a statute.
What's going on? How you doing, Cheryl?
okay, once I get it on here, the
Michael,
code for
over
that,
here.
and then
Come on, create a
I'll decide.
crazy
Or the time
video
can
right
time to look up to. I have, while you're looking at that, I have a couple of questions for Attorney Pisciuta. With regard to residency, did you state that it is not just domicile, it is several other factors, and it's the subjective
Ah,
intent
yes,
of
it is.
the candidate?
Yes.
Redemption.
So
You see the
21-2-217, it broadly refers to residency as to voter registration, but those are the same requirements for candidacy, essentially, because you have to be a registered voter for the district that you're running in. So in subsection A, there are, if my counting is correct, 16 factors to kind of weigh.
Wow.
And then in subsection B, what it tells...
Can you read those factors?
Well, and what I was going to say, so in subsection B, what it tells the board to consider is, in addition to the applicant's expressed intent, you can look at any relevant circumstances determining the residence.
Okay.
And you can consider the applicant's financial independence, business pursuits, employment, income sources, residence for income tax purposes, age, marital status, residence of parents, spouse, children, leaseholds, site of personal and real property, motor vehicle and other personal property registration, national change of address information, and other such factors that the registrars may reasonably deem necessary to determine the qualification.
And one of the questions I have based...
Okay, so what she just did was giving them 16 other reasons to utilize to determine whether or not Dom Dom, who wants Gom Gom, is qualified to remain on the ballot. Does that make sense? Hit the phone. Essentially, that's what's just happened. So the board could use this list of factors to determine whether or not they want to determine or deem her qualified as a candidate. And all these factors included what some of them she just read off. So they could just focus on, her Georgia ID or, a place of business. Or they could just focus on her residence. Or they could focus on a variation of residence, place of employment. And what else did she read off? Vehicles, personal property. Y'all see motor vehicle there? Like they could have considered a variation of all of those factors. So she just pretty much gave the board options to utilize to determine, okay, whether y'all want to use just her residence, like her lease, and maybe her state ID, or if you want to factor in, her any other personal property, her business, whether she has a spouse that's married legally, because she's not, but she's, let's just say her and Siggy decided to tie the knot. That could have been a factor. If he had permanent residence here, that could have been a factor. If she had a motor vehicle, it could be a variation of these things. So it opens up all of the options they would have to utilize to determine her qualification status, as opposed to just limiting it to just residence. Does that make sense? Hit the phone. And that's where they effed up. Right here. They gave her way too many options. Way too many options. What's going on, Kogo, up in here? Miss Kogo, how y'all doing? Oh, man, did I see you, Cheryl? Juju? I see some other people up in here. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Let's see. Patsy says she is already nasty. Who's going to vote for her? Nobody. Exactly. And she wants Republicans to vote for her. Boy, that's something else. That's something else. Oh, man. Listen. She thinks that the Republicans in Fulton County District 5 are ready for her. They've been waiting on her like, she's somebody to save you. What's going on, Jizzle Spice? May 1, she doesn't know how to talk. It's May 1st. Oh, y'all know super stupid is dumb. Oh, man, this is something else, y'all. Oh, we almost done with this one. Then we gonna go on. It's a video I saw, that I covered of her. After she claimed she didn't know of any good parks. Yeah, okay. Keep lying, Heifer.
Pre-registration, national change of address information, and other such factors that the registrars may reasonably deem necessary to determine the qualification.
And one of the questions I have, based on Member Adams' inquiry, does the driver's license by itself indicate that you are not a resident if you do not get it within the required time period?
I think it's a factor that you can weigh, but whether someone violated Georgia law as to when they should get their driver's license, that is not a determining factor. Whether they made a violation on the motor vehicle or driver's license code would not be like determinative as to, whether
it's something
they
that can be weighed, but it's not a factor just by itself. Okay.
Right. And if I may, I'm sorry, I wanted to address Member Selby's question. So we do, Ms. Henyard did register to vote in Georgia in February 2026. We did receive a certified record from the Cook County clerk that she is still a registered voter in Illinois with the last voting history of November of 2024. Okay. And this is a common misconception.
April 1st, April 1st of 2025. Right.
Okay, apologies.
She last voted April 1st of 2025. That was last year for herself. Remember? When she was a write-in candidate for supervisor of Thornton Township because she couldn't take an L and go to hell home. You still voted up there, you super stupid. Why are you voting? Yeah, because she voted for herself. Y'all remember that? That landslide loss. Boy, we had a celebration up in here. I was running around the house. We had a toast and everything. It was lovely. Yeah, now she voted for herself. Because she just couldn't take it to the house. She wouldn't just now she acts as if she doesn't even know where's Illinois? That's a state. Like, aren't you that girl from Illinois? No, wait, what? That ain't me. Somebody won and I came here and that was it. And my whole life started. Now she acts as if Illinois doesn't even exist. It's just a glimmer in her memory. It's a squiggly line in a coloring book. It's like, wait, what? What's a Dalton? She doesn't care. Y'all notice she hasn't been back, went to a township hall meeting or none of that. She hasn't gone there to advocate for the residents or anything. Like the same thing those Henyards will say. Well, why don't they come up here? They don't. I'm just saying they don't know what the people want. It's so funny. It's so funny how she has not been back. You want to hold her down? She hasn't even been back there to go to one of you all's town hall meetings. You think she's gone to a meeting and challenged Jason on anything? Or the other one? Football head, Napoleon? She hasn't challenged them on anything. You think she would go to one of those meetings, a couple times, and at least pretend like she still cares a little bit? No. All that lip service about how I'm the only one that cares for you all. I'm the only one that loves you all. Didn't y'all enjoy those food boxes? Y'all didn't like the food boxes and all the events and the bingo nights and the prizes and shit you won? Y'all didn't like that? Y'all didn't enjoy those washing machines and microwaves I was giving out? How dare you? Now all of a sudden, somebody won and I came here in February. Wait, what? Just line her behind up. Never mind, she was a write-in candidate as supervisor for Thornton Township. After whining and crying and trying to take Napoleon to court, talking about illegal. That was illegal. Now, wait a minute. We thought you just moved to Georgia and you just took that L and you moved to Georgia. I mean, now you have no idea what Illinois is. I have no recollection of the state in question. I may have been a mayor and a supervisor somewhere. I don't recall where. Oh my God. What's going on, Tanya? How you doing? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, 2-3 months from now, she's going to pretend like she never heard of Illinois. She's going to say, I don't even know how to spell Illinois. I don't know what that is. Is that a state? It's a city or something? Oh, okay. Is that in the U.S.? I thought it was an island. Y'all, oh, man. She hasn't gone back and did a meeting and raised hell or nothing, for the residents, because she claims to love the residents. Funny how she hasn't gone back for the residents and show any love or anything towards them. It's funny how that happened.
I don't know what got in November. But a common misconception is when you register to vote in the new state that you automatically get unregistered in your old state. And it does not occur automatically. At some point, Eric or one of those softwares will send the cross-state checks to the Secretary of State. And somewhere down the road, it will get taken off. Just public service announcement. I encourage you to just go ahead and reach out to Cook County and cancel your registration there. You can't vote in 2 states, but it doesn't, once you register in a new state, it isn't automatic that you come off the old roll.
And is that the same in Georgia as well? It doesn't automatically come off?
Correct. You do not automatically come off. And I think
we got dirty rolls. They dirty.
But it doesn't.
Dirty rolls.
Ms. Henyard, before closing the hearing, you had said that you wanted to get the code section.
Yeah.
The code section that you wanted to provide to Member Adams or to this board?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. If you could just tell us the code section.
And we wanted to see
I thought she had it.
It looks like they were on FaceTime with somebody. Oh my God.
Okay, it is OCGA 21-2-217. A Lake Georgia license does not automatically default residency if actual residence exists. A Georgia license alone is not enough without actual living presence.
Thank you. One other question from Member Crawford.
Do you have that? Did you send that copy to someone on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need 2 seconds.
All right. Thank you.
If you just send it to Director Williams.
I was going to ask, that's a long code, OCGA 21-2-217. We're having trouble finding that in there. Can you tell us where it is in there?
Like what
A1, B,
what paragraph?
C, or E?
I'm not on it right now, but the lawyer can help you guys.
Wait, she said, I'm not on it right now. I thought you pulled it up. Y'all, this is the extent of her reading, okay? She's not going to give you anything beyond that. I highly doubt they went to the actual website, like, Georgia law website or anything. It was just a Google search.
I put that. I'm getting the rent roll for her, so I have that here.
She telling them, get y'all attorney to help y'all with that about a law I told you all. Like, yeah, somehow the attorney is supposed to be able to read her mind and know exactly what the statute code, including the citation down to the paragraph is, because reasons. Super stupid. You coming down here with all this arrogancy. When are you going to go back to Thornton Township and attend one of those township meetings? Let's see that happen. See how bold you are, heifer.
No, I don't see that exact language. I have some annotations, but it's possible that came out of a litigation, but I don't have that
out of a case
in the code itself.
What month did she want to see for the rent?
But again, I would say
just a second.
That section, I don't see it in the actual code, statute. But again, I would just note that would be a factor to consider with all the other factors.
Okay. If you provided everything, we're going to close the public portion now of the hearing. Have you provided?
Right. I said, what month did she want to see?
She wanted to see you said that the utility, when you paid your water and things like that, there was a separate section, I guess, in your rental agreement that you do it on an app or something like that, and that you could pull that up and send it. That's why
she forgot her own lie.
And you could
one just so you can see it.
You can do that.
No, she forgot her own lie. She told them that my water and sewage is included in my rent, and that the electricity is in Siggy's name. She may not even have a gas bill. Your house may not have gas. So what other utilities are you going to really use? Why would you tell him that his name, the power is in his name? But you told them you'd be able to pull up the lease where you have the water and the sewage included. Why is she struggling to pull this up? I can just go to my email or go on the website where I pay my rent and pull my lease agreement up. Why is she struggling? I mean, good grief. Who does not have the ability in the year of our Lord 2026 to pull up an electronic copy of their lease agreement or their mortgage? Why is she struggling? She's been looking for it this entire time. So either she's lying about the separation of utilities, it's not valid, or she's really incompetent and somehow she doesn't have a copy of it saved in her email or somewhere. This is insane.
While we're deliberating, because that's all that you're sending. So that the public portion of the hearing, and Miss Henyard, if you would like, you and Sir, I didn't get your last name, but you all could both have a seat. So we'll turn to the board to deliberate, and I believe Member Adams has a legal question for Attorney Chu.
Have we still not received the rental agreement, the certified copy of the rental agreement? The one that we had gotten is, just typed in signatures. Did we receive an official one?
My paralegal tried to track it down. Unfortunately, it's a large corporation that owns a lot of properties in Georgia.
Stop. You don't have a signed copy of the lease agreement? Super stupid. You should have a copy of a signed lease agreement. Most of them are electronically signed in Adobe or DocuSign. Mine's come through DocuSign. I get a copy of an email with electronic signatures, dates, timestamps, everything completed. Are you kidding me? And this woman is about to sit here and she's sitting here saying, oh, it's a large company that owns a lot of properties and blah, blah, blah. Why aren't you getting it from the actual leaseholder? Super stupid doesn't have a signed copy of her own lease agreement. Oh my God.
So they
that
have not
means
been
nothing.
the most cooperative. I opted not to
So
send
what?
a formal subpoena because we really don't have a method of enforcing it. Even
We don't have what?
a method of enforcing it.
But we didn't try it.
I didn't.
Okay.
And originally we
Oh my God. Oh, this attorney is so incompetent. First of all, even if you don't have, the power to enforce, don't say there's no method. The method would just be laborious because they would have to go through the court. This is more like an administrative hearing, right? Y'all remember when we went over, there's a difference between a judicial hearing and administrative hearing. This is an administrative proceeding. So you got a government agency holding its own hearing, right? And the board serves as kind of like the ones that will deliberate and give ruling and all this other stuff. You have the attorney here present to help them, interpret law correctly. And the attorney is the one sitting here saying, we don't have a way to enforce it. No, you have a way to enforce it. You would have to go to the court of law. She just doesn't want to go through all that. It's lazy as hell. Period. They could have subpoenaed it. They have the ability to do it. It's a matter of enforcement. So if they don't follow the subpoena, then you go to court and say, now we need this to be enforced. We need an order forcing them to do what the subpoena is telling them to do. That will take time and money. You got to go to court, you got to get a hearing and blah, blah, blah. All the things she doesn't want to do because reasons. Never mind the fact that that's her role and that's her job. But, the incompetency of it all, as you all can see here, it's embarrassing as hell, but it is what it is. This woman is basically telling us, no, I didn't even try. Because I didn't want to go through all that. We have no way to enforce it. That's a lie. She could have just been honest. It would have taken too much time and energy. It would have been too laborious for this type of challenge for me to go and get a subpoena and do all this stuff and then got to go to court and get it enforced. I'm not in the mood. She could have just said that. We would have had a good laugh. Still called her incompetent, but at least she would have been honest. Come on now.
Deadline, but we did reach out to them. But
oh my God,
and to the registered agent as well. But being a corporation, we just.
So I understand Chat Alexis, which says your Chat Alexis in front of you, had told us before that when he had reached out to the company, they said they needed Miss Henyard's agreement to send us that. Is that, do we not get Miss Henyard's agreement?
Not aware of that.
Okay. We had several ORRs and a couple of things subpoenaed. Did you receive anything else?
I tried to subpoena for water records. Did not get anything back. I did reach out to the Cook County Clerk of Court. That's where I received the voting history.
Right.
When I looked at the property in Illinois, it appeared to be in a family member's name. So
it appeared to be what?
Or at least with someone with the same last name, I believe.
Okay.
So
yeah, she lived with her relative. She didn't have her own place. No, she did. Remember the house she rented from that girl and then turned around and was ordered to pay her thousands of dollars in back rent? That young lady should have taken her house back a long time ago. She should have never really rented to Super Stupid to begin with. She didn't owe her that. But they changed the locks. They didn't even want to get a girl her house back. And then she was ordered by the judge to pay back rent. Can't make this up. So why do we have to believe that her lease agreement is valid here in Georgia? She can't even pull up an electronically signed copy of it. It's the stupidity for me, Super Stupid. You're still dumb.
But it's not property that she owned.
Oh my God.
Okay. And you were looking for a lot of the payroll information of how long she was paid. I remember we talked about that in the first meeting. For the mayor and the other position she held within the county, some supervisory position.
We did receive, I'm not sure if it's in this packet, from the city attorney? City attorney that provided some information and that she was in the role until her predecessor. There was a gap between the election, but she was in the role until her predecessor was sworn in.
So that was the mayor position, correct? So
Correct.
she was in that position till May 4th.
Or May 5th, I think it said, but
Okay. And there was I am confused about the other position she had. She was some kind of,
Supervisor of a township.
that's right, supervisor of a township. Did we get that payroll information?
no, we did not. Sorry. I did not ask for that. And that may be just my confusion with the two
Oh my
roles.
God, the
Because I believe
incompetency.
they're similar. And maybe
She need to be fired. This attorney sucks ass. Oh, you are the worst, woman. You are the worst. She is the worst. What do you mean? Why were you confused when you can just Google Tiffany Henyard and see that she was super mayor? That's where she came up with that bullshit title. Supervisor of Thornton Township and mayor of the village of Dalton. Don't call it a city because, they'll bite your head off. For F's sake.
Oh, that sounded separate to me. So
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh, worst attorney ever.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Any other comments? It's not to either to the
No,
attorney
we
or
done.
just as a board member that you want to make any comment before we take a vote?
Yes.
Well, Member Williams, did you receive? Okay. Well, we'll let your computer get back up. Okay, Member Selby.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Just for clarity on the driver's license issue. So I took a look at 4520, and it appears to me that you're required to obtain a driver's license within 30 days if your intent is to operate a motor vehicle. And I don't.
Exactly. What
is
about
that
an ID?
your read, or I don't see that as requiring you to have one as a matter of course.
I don't know what's going on with the microphones, but I want to know the answer to that too.
with the caveat that I'm looking at it very quickly, it does appear that is the requirement before operating a motor vehicle in the
Yeah,
state.
so the absence of obtaining a license within 30 days doesn't mean anything if you're not intending to operate a vehicle.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Why isn't anybody asking about state ID?
And she said that she had an Illinois license before that. So living here for over a year with an Illinois license, you don't see an issue with that?
Well, legally you're
you.
saying is
Oh,
there
I
something,
like that
something
lady.
there, and let's refer to as candidate Henyard as opposed to she.
Not that I am aware of off the top of my head.
Let me tell you something. I will not refer to her as candidate Henyard. I'm going to refer to her as super stupid. I call you what you act like, girl. The only thing you've done when you listen to me is put on a black suit. Seeker still could have put on some church clothes then and not stood there dressed like a 15-year-old with his arms crossed like he throwing a grandpa tantrum. It's not our fault that he's got gout.
I mean, there may be other requirements in Georgia.
Listen, they
So,
slashed
and
they slashed it.
cannot, and I apologize,
my
I can't remember off the top of my
God.
head the requirements
this
when you come in to
attorney
vote,
sucks.
but I do know that people do come in sometimes with out-of-state licenses. Because you're just showing, as long as they're not expired, you can show an out-of-state license even when you come in to vote and you're registered to vote.
For our purposes, though, our inquiry, am I correct, is limited.
Oh, man, y'all. Oh, that's so bad. You should not be able to come in and show an out-of-state license to vote in the state of Georgia. If you don't live here, why are you voting here? The only difference is, let me retract that. If you are like a college student, more than likely you bring some other documentation to show that you're temporarily residing here. Does that make sense? Well, we're talking about her running as an elected official. She has to show permanent residence, not temporary. She wouldn't just be voting here. She's running for an elected position here. So no, she needs to prove permanent residency. In the situation where you have a voter with an out-of-state license, they should have some proof of residence showing temporary residence, because that's the case with, like, out-of-state college students. While you're waiting to have something transferred over, you still need to be able to show that you live in the area to vote there. Otherwise, you can just go do that in any state across the U.S. Go show out-of-state ID, and go to the state of California and go vote with Georgia license, and you don't have to show anything else to show that you at least temporarily stand there. You understand how much voter fraud that is? The attorney got to clean that up. There are caveats to that, people. Okay. Don't go to the polls thinking all I need is an out-of-state ID and I'm good. No, there are caveats to that. You need to show some level of temporary residence. If you're in college, that's one thing. And then you can show, hey, I'm enrolled in, Georgia State University. Here's my state, my college ID plus a piece of mail that came to my college dorm or wherever I'm living here on campus. Letter that I'm enrolled full-time as a student. And then, if I have out-of-state ID, I have my other documents to show temporary residence because I'm enrolled in Georgia State full-time. That's one thing. But the good God in heaven, this attorney is just sat here and basically giving the impression that voter fraud is cool. No, you just need out-of-state ID and you good. You can vote. What? I can't take it. Yeah, I can't take it. We gotta hurry this up. I'm done.
To residency by the time the candidate
dumbass attorney
is sworn in. Correct. Okay.
I'm so
12 months. Yes. Okay. Based on the totality of the evidence. Yes. Okay. Any further inquiry or any further comment? Member Adams? Because your light is on. That's okay. Turn it off. Member Crawford?
Oh, man.
We're just waiting for Member Williams. Member Selby, do you have a question?
Yes. So we have the rental lease agreement, and it looks as though it's been electronically signed.
Yes,
but I don't have any of the accompanying details to show that it in fact was electronically signed. The authentication pages, they follow the e-signatures. I think obviously we're Uniform Electronic Signature Act, but I don't see any verification that it's been signed. Do you have any other document that shows?
I don't. This was submitted by Ms. Henyard, and again, you have.
Oh my God! Because she could have just given her anything with something typed in. If it's e-signed, it will have an authentication ID. It can be right above the signature. It'll be a series of letters and numbers, and then they'll have like a date and time stamp. So, God, is he trying to say somebody just typed their name on a line, but there's no authentication on that? Oh, she would do some fraudulent, dumb shit like that.
The discretion to consider what kind of weight that you want to give to that.
And then just is the email with the payment information that.
That's what we're waiting on.
They gave her some nuts. She gave them then.
What did y'all get from it? I got these from it. I want to know what's going on with those. Because if it's a state ID, that's one thing, but she still has her driver's license from another state. But I don't know if, she ended up getting a state-issued ID card. Okay, so we have her phone now, and they are showing it to all the board members. This is the rental utilities payment portion that we were talking about a few minutes ago. I mean, the lease agreement is a binding contract, and it does say that she is responsible for her utilities. But water and sewer and trash might be included. I don't think that includes gas or electric, Wi-Fi, things of the like. All right, so yeah, guys,
she already had said that Siggy has the electricity in his name. Yeah, so they voted 3-1 to keep the idiot on the ballot. It's something else. Something else. Before we go, y'all, this is my video. Y'all remember when Super Stupid said there were no good parks here in Atlanta? She's worried about parks. In my last video, where we just had a good time with them. Oh man. Hopefully Hannibal is hungry to do more raw reactions to Super Stupid. Y'all remember she said there's no good parks here. Yeah, okay. She said no good parks or anything like that, blah blah blah. Funny how I covered a video of you being at Centennial Park. What's going on, everybody? Who told Ewok to crash land in Atlanta, Georgia again? Yeah, I was tagged in this Facebook post. And I want y'all to remember, Lady Luck Club does not have Facebook. I don't have Facebook. My bad. Yeah, but I can't do Facebook. Yeah, it's enough trying to manage YouTube. And all they nonsense. Why is it Ewok here? Who invited you to Atlanta? Girl, get your bum ass. Listen here. This is new LLC talking. Y'all see Siggy still dressed like a 15-year-old. Why is he wearing capri pants or joggers? You're too tall for these pants not to go all the way down your leg. They're at Centennial Park at an event. They were spotted by somebody in the crowd that recognized her, because she went infamous for all the wrong reasons. And she claimed there are no good parks at all. Not that I'm looking for her child, but if you want to say that you're concerned about not having a good park to take your child to, then why isn't she here? Because there's a lot for kids to do there. They even have the little water spouts down, in a certain area of the park where your kids can go play in the water during the summer. Run through the little water spouts and all that. It's all decorated and nice and pretty for Christmas. You mean to tell me there's no good parks around? But yet you're spotted at one of them? Yeah, keep lying, Heifer. You can't hide, girl. And yet she thinks people are stalking her. No, this is the price you paid for trying to be a wannabe celebrity. She went to California and did a whole video about that. You come to Atlanta, you realize we're not for play. We will garnish your damn check. And she had not. Why he walking around in his capri pants? Oh, man. Where's the child? There's a daughter she has, right? No, please, God, let her father get full custody of her. Yeah. And I can't believe it. He still dresses like a 10-year-old. Unbelievable. Ain't no good parks, though. There's no good parks, though, but you at a park. Super stupid. You went to Centennial Park. Why are you all there if it's not a good park? Wouldn't you just go to another one? It makes no sense. But see, he said you in city, though. Yeah, I don't blame the mother for not wanting to go around this nonsense, because this is nonsense. This lady is crazy. Why y'all following her? Nobody following her. She came down here. We didn't invite her. Come take Yeah, no. Y'all can take her back. This is right here. Yeah, what I'm intrigued about even more, Siggy. Why you got these slides on with them socks? Siggy, you walking around here, you all of 148. Y'all, 176-year-old man walking around with capri pants. Good grief. We walk around with capri pants on. And these slides. Oh, Siggy. Why them toes look like that?
Are stupid.
And then people wonder why.
Y'all, we know we got to do it.
Call us the N-word. Have y'all?
Boy, that look familiar, don't it, Siggy? Siggy, that looks so familiar. These slides look just so familiar to me. Minus the socks. This is down to the rotten toenail. Y'all, we in and out on this one. We got to in and out on this. Because Siggy want to walk around dressed like a 15-year-old high school kid that looks unbathed. With these capri pants, black slides with white socks. Siggy, why them toes look like that?
The definition of it. Have y'all looked up the definition of what is the N? Okay, I ain't gonna say the word.
Church. I got a question. I ain't judging.
I'm just asking.
Why them toes look like that? Why them nails doing yoga in the back? One left, one pointing at the sky. Look like they're throwing gang signs when you walk on by. Why them toes look like that? They testifying, but they out of sync. Lord, I ain't saying nothing to me. I just blink, and then I blink again. Go, walk in church, sandals bow, front row seat. Let the dog get cold, nails thick, color questionable. Looking like a science fair, vegetable. One toe bent like it lost its way. Other toe saying not today. Ain't say fungus, but I smell a plea for socks, shoes, and humility. Fire humming, organ crying. Meanwhile, them toes still testifying. I'm trying to pray, I'm trying to cope, but them nails look like they gave up hope. Why they fighting every open shoe? One girl, one spread wide, look like they got opinions too.
These white socks.
Why them toes look like that? Why they fighting every open shoe? One girl up, one spread wide, look like they got opinions too. Yeah, them toes look like that. I ain't mad, I'm just confused. Even Moses would've said. Cover them feet before we part these pews. Hey, pedicure been dodged for years. Them toes seen wars. Mama feels one nail thick like a history book of the one hanging by faith and love. Flip flop screaming, I can't do this. Them toes say mind your business, but churches where the truth come out and the feet got stories they shout. Auntie say, baby, don't stare. But them toes say, look if you dare. I love everybody, yes I do, but Lord.
Why them toes look like boo?
And ancient too.
My toes look like that.
Why them nails rebelling so?
Lord,
they twist, they turn, they point, they preach. Got more direction than the Holy Ghost.
Why them toes look like that?
I'll say they wrong, you don't get it wrong. But next Sunday, closed toe shoes.
What do you say, shoes?
Why them toes look like that?
Toes look like that.
Why them toes look like that?
Toes look like that.
Why them nails rebelling so? They twist, they turn, they point, they preach. Got more direction than the Holy Ghost. Why them toes look like that?
Yeah, Siggy, they don't wear them damn slides no more. That's all I got, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Oh, Lord have mercy. Jesus. Siggy, why them toes look like that? Underneath them dirty ass socks. Y'all don't have like he's never worn flip flops or slides or whatever with his feet showing. Yeah, they look all of 248 years old. You understand? Every single toe looked like it aged 128 years in time. Siggy, go sit your ass down somewhere and super read a book. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all hit that like button. I want to thank you all for the supers from Laura and from Skeeter. I appreciate you all. Y'all hit that like button, hype the videos up. We got another live coming up. We're going to finish up part 4 of Kogo Presents Malware and the infamous check gate. We're going to have a good time with that. So tune in if you can. If not, I will see you all in the next one. Until then, later, let club out. Deuces.